Well, Reed, thanks for your amazing questions on the free school community. That's got the link in the description below for anyone who wants to go look at it. I love your questions. You're asking about deals. Give me numbers. I love those kinds of questions. So bring it on. I love to talk about deals. There's a deal that's happening right now that I can talk about. I'm going to call it Mr. Coffee because all these contracts for these national brands say confidential and I can't share what's going on. So let's keep it generic. I'm not going to say what part of the country, but this is the US. And so let's step back a little bit and give some context. I found a vacant Burger King on the market that was sitting there and nobody was using it. And so I made an offer to buy the Burger King. It was $415,000. So what I ended up negotiating the offer at. And I got a whole bunch of time to work on it. And I went to go work on it and I started marketing it. I sent letters out to everybody in the region that should use a shop like this, like every other similar kind of shop. The owner, the tenant, I made phone calls. I had friends working with me. We made phone calls. We sent out messages. We did marketing in lots of different ways. And we didn't get anybody for that Burger King, but I sure tried and I learned a lot. We reached out to people in half dozen state radius all the way around, not just the next towns, but all over the place that should come use this Burger King building. And the one that wanted to use it the most was a Pizza Hut guy. Pizza Hut guy really wanted to put his Pizza Hut in that building. He only wanted the front half of the building, and he recommended coffee or something like that in the other half. He had done the same thing with a Hardee's building the next state over, and thought we could do it here. And so I started marketing for coffee shops. I tried to find coffee shop that would go in the other side. I found some mom and pop local ones that would be really hard to go sell in the markets, but I didn't find any like national ones that would really do it. But I learned a lot marketing to those coffee shops on that deal. And so this is a series of deals to learning curve progression, right? So over a lot of time marketing and trying and figuring, I never was able to pull out that Burger King. I even put it up for auction in the Crexy auctions while I had it under contract to buy and put a reserve in the Crexy auctions and did that. I've done that with multiple properties. And it used to be easier to do that. Don't try it with their current regulations. They'll call the Luke Smith clause out on you. But you never know until you try. You got to own it, have it have it bought in before you can run it through the auctions anymore. But I used to run them through there, and I couldn't even get bids on them there. But I learned and I learned. Every one of those moves was a learning curve for me. And then in June of 24, I made an offer on this taco shop in the next town over. And this taco shop, different national brand taco shop, was out of business and they had closed down. It's just vacant. It's been sitting there for sale for a while. And they turned me down. I offered, I think it was $450,000. And they turned me down. They didn't want to give me any time to work on it. They're like, yeah, if you can close in, I don't know, 15 days or 30 days or something. It's, yeah, this is broken. There's no tenant. It's vacant. It's like buying a piece of vacant land. I wasn't going to do it. So I didn't do it. And then a year later, through the school community, the pro school community here on school, which I'll put a link in the description below for other people watching to get back to it. One of the guys reached out to me, and this was June of 2025. Said, Luke, what about this taco shop? Leave the names out of this taco shop in XYZ city and XYZ state. I said, I know that building. I made an offer on that one like a year ago. And I've worked on it. I studied it, negotiated. I didn't get anywhere. But we could try it again. It's still on the market. And so we tried again. This time we got it for $325,000, where a year before I was trying to get it for $450,000. So this time we got it for $325,000 because I learned, right? You learn and time goes by and there you go. And so you were asking deposits. I made a $10,000 deposit offer on this one. They accepted my $10,000 deposit, the $325,000 purchase price I asked for. I'm not going to do all the super details. That's part of my secret sauce. You can get into the paid group to get into the super details of them. But I got a whole bunch of time out of them. Everything I asked for. They gave me everything I asked for. And I thought it would be the Pizza Hut guy. That Pizza Hut guy, I got a relationship with him. I could get him in there. I could get him to look at it. We got a good rapport with him. We could do a deal. I felt comfortable doing a deal with the Pizza Hut guy. He's looking for more Pizza Huts in this area. And he didn't have one in this town. And the numbers are better here, and there's lots of things are better here versus the Burger King that we worked on before. And so that was the first call I made, Pizza Hut guy. And he went right over there, started looking at it. He was like all about it and just still, again, trying to get the numbers to work. He just hard to get the numbers to work with. Maybe he's a better negotiator than I am. And started reaching out to the coffee shops and over 100 other shops, national brands that should use this thing too. Statistical hits, that size, that, that traffic, those neighbors, all kinds of reasons why different shops should go there. Like statistical hits, reached out to them. We got some different people that came and did tours or looking at the property and they're gonna, and it's commercial real estate. A lot of them are gonna until they actually do it, right? And Mr. Coffee, for lack of the national brand, I'm calling him Mr. Coffee, drove 6 hours from the next state over to come look at this shop, and they loved it, and they got right back to me. They made an offer, and they offered $45,000 rent, and I'm scratching my head like, "This is way too low." Come on, guys, you could offer more of that. I tried negotiating lots of different ways. Of course, they're better negotiators than I am. They talked me into the $45,000 rent. That's okay, and it's a ground lease. So I don't have to do a survey. I don't have to do an environmental report. I don't have to do anything. I just sign some paperwork and they do everything. And they go pay $45,000 a year in rent for the rest of forever. So we got a 15-year contract that they're going to pay every 5 years. The rent goes up 10%. I got a bunch of options so they can stick around and go for a long time. And I said, okay, so I just want to be able to have the lease start the same time I buy the land. So I want a contract that leads into the lease to start at the same time I buy the land. And they said, okay. And we put it together, got the attorneys on it and made it happen. And went to go close and there was a title problem. So it's a longer story. It delays. And now it's going to happen like next week instead of last September. And some expenses came out of that, some different dances and whatever. So put it all together with all the expenses and everything and negotiated the price down to incorporate the expenses and got it back to $325,000 all in, all taxes paid, fees, everything, like 325 grand. So 325 grand all in. And then the lease commences on day one of the purchase. So the tenant picks up taxes and insurance. They're going to rip down the building. They're going to build a new building for their coffee shop. Or if they have any problems, they can just refurbish the old building and turn that into a coffee shop even faster. So they can go either way. And they pay rent and they start paying rent as soon as they open for business or the earlier of about 9 months after the thing starts, after the lease, after I purchase the property. And so that brand in today's market is trading at about a 6.25 cap, and a 6.25 cap is like 720 grand on the $45,000 rent. So 720 grand, you're asking for the numbers. So 720 grand minus the 325. That's the basic number. Now there's a commission. There's a lease commission. It's about 22 grand. You got to pay to the broker in between that helps set up the lease with the coffee shop and Mr. Good Negotiator that got me at the low rent, right? And so I got to pay half of that when I purchase the property or when the lease commences and half of it when rent commences later on someday. Or I can sell the property kind of 2-3 months, probably even before the rent commences, or maybe the same day the rent commences, or maybe it's 3 months after. But I can try to sell it a couple months before if my pricing's will probably go. And then I can use the sale proceeds of selling it to pay the other half of that commission. So the cost of 325 plus 11 grand of that first piece of the commission is 336, like 336,000. And the profits are 332 or something like that if we calculate it, if I'm doing my numbers right. It's almost 100% profit, and I could probably do money out money in 6 months. It might be 9 months. It depends how long it takes to sell on the sell side, but 6 to 9 months is about the turn or the recycle ratio and go do it into the next deal and the next deal, right? As you line them up. And so if it's 9 months and we run with that kind of return and we annualize it, it comes out to about 150%, but on just the actual deal, it's about 100% or just shy of 100%. If I'm doing my math right. And that's the return on the capital to capitalize it. Now I'm using somebody else's money. I'm using a friend that's financing it. We've done hundreds of deals in the past and I'm comfortable using their money and working with them and they like working with me and everything else. So I think it's a great partner to finance it and they get a piece of the profits for financing the deal. But that allows me to do lots of these deals. If we use partners' money, you can do it again and again. So we've got a group set up. We keep finding these properties. We keep setting up these kinds of deals and going after more and more of these deals. So if you like to finance these kinds of deals, please reach out to me. Let me know. If you like to create these kinds of deals, there's links below to take you back to go down the rabbit hole. right? Join into the community. We'll go create some deals together. I love work on them like all day, every day. And I do them with friends, and that makes it even more fun. So there's the basics of the deal. The commission, take commission, the sell side commission. I got a couple people that like to buy these things from me. And when they're all up and paying cash flowing and ready, I might be able to sell them for better prices if I sell them through the brokers and pay the commission on selling them. So if I pay the commission on selling them to try to get the top higher end pricing, that's usually like a 5% kind of commission on the exit. And that was inside those numbers I just listed. I'll put a written version of this number and take a part of the deal in the school community, link in the description below. So there you go. There's a coffee shop deal in today's markets. It's happening right now, a relevant one instead of the previous example I gave you that's a little bit older. I've got other coffee brands we're doing the same thing with. This is a little one. This is a baby one, $45,000 rent, so smaller one. Some of the coffee shops are more like 140s and 150s kinds of rents. Others are hundreds, or some are 70s and 80s, depending on the different deals. We can do the same kind of thing with much bigger rents, maybe bigger dollar properties with nice spreads in there to go make them happen. So feel free to ask me about those deals. This is a small one. I'm giving a small one example. I've got a big one in the pipeline that I'm looking for funding for right now, which might be up your alley, Reed, is a different brand. It's a childcare brand, national brand. They've got 600 locations, good credit. And just running through all the numbers on that, we've got a site that we could do that on, and they're ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. Just need to plug in the capital. So if I had the capital funder for that one, it would be about 1.2 million to maybe 1.3 million. And if we refinance the deal after it's built, we could get all the money back and then some and collect pretty nice cash flow from there for the rest of forever. Or we could sell it on the markets and get double the capital back and maybe a little bit more than double. And it'll take about 18 months or so from door to door instead of the coffee shop examples that I'm giving you that are 6 to 9 months door to door, money out, money back. But if you're open for a larger ticket one, I've got one of those in the hopper as well. I think they're nice returns. It's about how much does the capital cost to go knock over the deal. And I think the rest of the variables are pretty well figured out. And so we can start with something like that Burger King example. We can learn from it. We can grow. We can improve. We can make a better mousetrap to take on the taco shop, turn it into coffee shops, take on lots of different land, turning into coffee shops. Some of the coffee shop deals look like they'd be better off with dentists next door. We've got a couple different deals where it's dentist coffee shop combo. And I think that recipe on land works really well too. The numbers come out pretty amazing to do that. And other combo shops, different drive-through. We got one right now that's two different drive-through. One's big national coffee brand, and another is a lunch and dinner fast food kind of brand. And both want their standalone drive-throughs. So we got a piece of property that fits both of them next to each other. So we're just doing a site plan on that one. It looks like it's coming together, and I'll be looking for money on that deal as well. But lots of these deals, as they're coming together, we can go knock them over and do these kinds of spreads, these kinds of returns in today's market. If you like to finance them, amazing. If you like to create them, join me in the community. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. Hit the link in the description below. It'll take you back to written more details about this particular deal and example, sharing as a response to Reed Kirkenbach's question on the community and school that we've got. We got like 400 members-ish on there going back and forth, talking about different deals, sharing information. And I think it's a fun place to be and learn. And some of the guys have been dropping some knowledge bombs on there about AI that's been coming through and different angles in this market, different ways to get more efficient. You should chime in if this kind of stuff interests you. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.